everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Road to Green, where we cover issues on ESG, climate, and sustainability from our perspective as Africans. Today, we have a very interesting topic to cover. While we know that sustainability revolves around policy, tech, and infrastructure, these are not the only things that are needed for sustainable development. As a matter of fact, one key element that we miss periodically is human behavior and how people engage with the transition that is happening across the globe. Today, we have very interesting guests who have experience in storytelling, and I will open the floor to you all to introduce yourselves. So, do we do ladies first, or how do we go about it?
I think that's the rule.
So, ladies first.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kafui Christon-Quao, and I'm a project assistant at Plastic Punch.
Punch. Okay.
Also the content creator at Plastic Punch. So I basically oversee the storytelling aspect on how it's been shared on our socials.
Interesting. Okay.
And I'm Elijah Laryea, a project coordinator also at Plastic Punch.
Okay.
So this is my first podcast actually.
Oh.
So thank you for having us.
Oh, yeah, we're excited to have you. Yes.
I'm Spencer Awortwe.
Okay.
I'm a materials engineer and also the project coordinator at Plastic Punch.
Okay.
And happy to be here.
Nice. That's good to know. I think you guys have very interesting backgrounds. You have a material science person here, we have a storytelling person here. Oh my god, and a project.
Scientist.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
but then you
really
specialize. Interesting. Okay. So tell us about Plastic Punch. Did I get the name right?
Yeah,
The Plastic Punch.
Okay.
That's-
Yeah. Mhm.
So Plastic Punch is an environmental NGO
Okay.
that focuses on the reduction of plastic waste across the coastal lines.
The coastal lines. Okay.
Yes. We our main focus areas are advocacy, citizen science, research.
Citizen science. Okay.
Yes, citizen
Mm.
science.
Okay.
Maybe we just put in short beach cleanups,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
waste audits, beach cleanups,
Mm.
advocacy, awareness, and research. So
Okay.
those are the key areas we focus on, and we mostly also community engagement. So
Community
we relate more
engagement.
with
Okay.
people who are who have like the vision in terms of reduction and reducing plastic waste across coastal lines.
Okay. That's pretty interesting to know. So, from your perspective, what's happening in the ESG world, not just from Ghana, but then from a global point, since you started engaging with Plastic Punch or your experience with, the whole climate action agenda? What's your perspective on what's really happening? So let's take it from a global perspective and come down to Ghana. Yeah.
Okay, I think globally
Yeah.
there is increasing awareness
Mhm.
on plastic pollution,
Yeah.
on the effects on the environment.
Mhm.
So we have countries, companies, they are doubling down their efforts on sustainability.
That's
And
true.
we see that a lot in our engagement activities where we reach out to companies home and abroad, and you
Okay.
realize that they have a focus now, or one of their focal areas now is on sustainability.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
highlighting what she said, citizen engagement activities, that's citizen science. So the whole model of citizen science is trying to use citizens
Okay.
as a model, as a means to gather data.
Right.
So by using the everyday citizen, equipping them with knowledge, know-how, expertise, capacity building, we
Yeah.
are able to empower them to gather data.
Okay.
And also by so doing, it also increases awareness or raises awareness on their personal levels.
Interesting.
So over the years, we've partnered with various companies, so some international companies like DHL, Hapag-Lloyd, all these people. Also, we have companies, BSM. I mean, there's a lot of companies, maritime companies, banks. So basically, it's just trying to show that on a global level and on a local level, people are more aware of the plastic footprint of their actions.
From the
And
actions.
we see that a
Amazing.
lot in our work. So that's also something to add to what she said.
Now I'm curious, how long has Plastic Punch existed?
Since 2018.
2018.
Since
Wow.
2018.
And you worked with some really good companies as well.
But frankly, not only to say the
big companies,
but with the everyday people as well. Because like my colleague also said, we focus on coastal communities and we work a lot
with
in these coastal
indigenous
areas where we serve, basically trying to understand the situation. And even more so, especially because these coastal communities are the ones who are mostly affected with plastics.
That's true.
We find that these communities, their major source of livelihood is fishing. When you have them catching more plastics than fish, then it shows you that the problem is very real. And it's more local, or it's more closer to you than you think.
Than we think. That's so true.
I like to take it from the academic point of view.
The academic point of view,
Yeah. So I finished school some years ago.
Many years ago, I imagine.
And during my time in school, I'm talking about the engineering point of things. As an engineer, during my training time in school and all that, we were not really exposed to the issue of environmental sustainability and climate change. So basically, this influences the kind of products that we design. Because if you are going to have a circular economy, then your products should be able to, be able to meet the protocols and what is required for us to be able to build a sustainable society. So using that as a baseline and then going back to school to do my master's again, this was a different case where now we are doing life cycle assessment of products that you design right from the early stages. So that tells that the message is going far. It has transcended and it has penetrated even to academia, not just courses that are related to climate change and environment, but then engineers are now mindful for the fact that now the world is becoming circular. So there is a need for us to also shift and adapt and make sure that we are, of course, this is a good thing for us to be able to meet this goal actually. Not because it's a popular thing, but then it's actually something that is beneficial, one, to the environment, to ourselves and our environment and our health in general.
I think you've said something very interesting, and even on the messaging bits, tell us how storytelling has been for you guys at Plastic Punch, because you've spoken about working closely with the people. What kind of stories have stood out when you had to interact with people, and what was their reaction to the stories that you put together? Maybe walk us through a case study or a project that you did.
So since joining Plastic Punch, I'm quite new. Yeah, it's been interesting. Very nice experience. So I would say my first encounter, like, that was during the beach cleanup we had with Corona Bay. Initially, when they came, they didn't expect to see what they saw at the site where we went to clean.
The partner?
Yes. Yes, that's Corona Bay.
Corona Bay,
to see like the amount of plastics there. They were like, oh, maybe it's just some small beach cleanup. So I was passing by some ladies. I think I was going to meet. We're taking pictures and interviewing some people, and they were like, "Are they spoke tree? I don't speak tree." But they spoke tree, but it sounded, I could understand. It was like they were shocked. You could hear like the shock, and they were like, "Oh, we didn't know it was this bad. If we knew, we would have done better," in a sense.
Wow.
So it kind of like from that aspect, seeing that, oh, this is someone who is willing to change because of what they saw.
Seen. Yeah.
So that has been, that to me, that I feel the story we tell more, it's more about action, putting them there. And although we take pictures and all, people ask questions about pictures, then they come to see. So our pictures, our photography and everything leads to action.
It does.
That's one key point for our storytelling.
And just a little background is that the places where we usually work are turtle nesting sites. That aside, these are not places where you can say they are beach resort areas that are kept clean or and the hands of people who are supposed to manage it. These are places where no one goes for recreation. These are places that no one is inhabiting or of any sort.
I imagine
but then you realize that whatever we do on land is entering into the ocean, and the ocean is spitting it back.
That's true.
At us. So you go to this site and you see the amount of trash over there, plastic waste especially, because it takes a lot of years for it to degrade. You see it and you wonder, how did this get here? Because no one is living here, no one is doing any form of exercise activity over here, but you end up seeing these things.
This much.
However, for us to be able to tell the story, or we need to gather enough data to make our analysis, to also do it regularly in order for us to have a trend.
Exactly.
And create the story out of it. Because you can't just say, will not be like just anyone who goes and see, oh, this is what I saw, because I want to make it look as if I'm telling the story, or I want to polish something to make it. No. If you already know the problem, then just solve it. But we know that we may not necessarily we have not fully understood everything. Because a lot of factors come into play. There are some of the trash that is being washed, transatlantic movements from other countries. You end up seeing certain products from other countries that have found its way over here. So a lot of factors, the tides, the climate, rainy season, dry season, all those kind of things, they affect the kind of pollutants we see over there. So it enriches the kind of story we tell, so that we can be able to best put it out to the policymakers, for them to have an in-depth understanding of what is actually happening, and not just the pictures and seeing things. But then we go further to take quantitative data on it, where we can tell you the amount of trash we've collected on a sample area, and we use that particular area as a steady area, so that we can be able to put out quality information.
I like the story you put, because immediately you said, oh, Corona beer came and then they saw it and they were touched. Immediately what came to me was, you've told a story just by acting. Right. So now let's come to data and behavior. I actually entered the climate space because of something I saw in 2023. So I like the fact that you are focusing on the coastal lines. So I visited my mom's hometown in Keta, and I was surprised to find out that my family would have to be displaced in a few years to come because of the rising sea levels. So I took a step further with my brother. We spoke with some of the fishermen in the area, and they also had the experience to share as fishermen, of course, because they have been affected. And that's how come I started a business. I would like you to speak to the rising sea levels, right? People feel like it's a cliche or something that doesn't really exist. But then, based on the data you've put together, how would you describe the rising sea level situation that we are talking about as one of the things we are seeing when it comes to the consequences of climate change? How would you put that perspective? Because I have seen this, but I still don't know how to explain it without data. But you are the storytellers, so
Well, you want to take it?
I mean, I don't know much
about human activities, global warming. When the temperature is rising, the ice melting, you have less ice. Then there's a lot of water in the ocean. And then, once the volume increases, then it takes up much space, and then it moves, and then it tends to push us back. So the water wants to take more space because it has taken more than it can hold. So basically, where I'll link it is, usually people don't give so much attention to plastics. However, we have let's take Ghana alone. We have a very significant percentage of the plastics we generate here being burnt. And these greenhouse gases, these harmful gases, once they go out, they jeopardize the system. And now the sun is easily penetrating.
The heat waves.
The heat is coming. And we don't, this is something that back in school, we used to write social studies. This to global warming. This to global warming. This leads to global warming. But now we're actually experiencing it. So this is the global warming we're talking about. So it's now becoming a reality, but it's sad. It's sad that it's becoming a reality. And the question then we ask is how can we step back? How can we reverse things? How can we put in the right attitudes, the right behavior to be able to, at least if not solve the situation, partially solve it.
Partially, to be able some to point.
Manage and mitigate our way around it. So, I mean, I usually use the example of someone who is sick.
Okay.
When you feed your system something that's it's harmful to your body reacts to it.
That's true.
When you are sick, your temperature rises and all that. It's an indication that something is not going on well in your system. That is the same way the earth is communicating to us that something is not going well. This is not the way things are designed. So therefore we need to be able to, put in remedies to be able to cure whatever is happening. So I think basically we just need to understand that whatever is happening is a consequence of the actions that we take. So if we don't want to bear the consequence, then we need to equally put in the right actions and change our behaviors.
Right. And adding just a little to what he said. That's why as Plastic Punch we focus or we try to advocate more on reduction.
Okay.
You will find this production, all these factories releasing their chemicals, also adding to this global warming issue. How can we basically trying to do like a top-down, like you said, a top-down approach, starting from producing, manufacturing, and all these things. You realize that when we focus on reduction, we even reduce the amount we even need to use in the first place. So that is why it's one of our models at Plastic Punch. Also looking at our space in Ghana here, where we basically don't even have means to manage plastics. Our infrastructure is very limited. So trying to basically talking from a more plastic perspective, we try to raise awareness on reduction, telling people reduce the plastic use in the first place. When you reduce it, you have them on the market, all right, but if it's not being used, then it's not a problem, right?
So there's no increase.
Exactly.
Okay.
And also by reducing the plastics we use, it's also something like a cultural shift where it brings people's mind that, okay, if let's say I have a business and I'm putting this specific product on the market, people are not using it, and I'm in business to make profits, what then do I do to bring people to use what I want them to use? Then it's also that way of trying to force people to change their thinking. That's highlighting on the design process of plastics, where we have people producing more reusable bags and those kind of things. So just adding a little towards my colleagues.
Very interesting. I think, Kafui, before you even come in, you've said something that is very important to these big businesses, the plastic production companies. They look at the data, they look at where the consumers are coming from, and they focus on that. So I like the fact that you mentioned that if you're able to force the consumers to change their behavior, it would also force these companies to stop producing, because they are in for money and they go to where the market is for them.
So also tying it back to the storytelling we are talking about, as Plastic Punch trying to, as part of what we do, there's also some edutainment tools we have, like the Plastic Punch series.
Okay.
Where so the Plastic Punch series is basically a film. 2 seasons we've produced 2 seasons, and it talks about the issue of plastic pollution.
Oh, okay. Is it already out there?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay. Interesting.
So it talks about the issue of plastic pollution in a more
In a more
film-like manner. Yes,
Okay.
I mean,
Theatre,
it's very interesting. Yeah, it's
I
adding the
see.
theater bit of it,
Oh, okay.
trying to get people to know that all these plastics we are using, it has effects, like
It
Spencer said.
does. Yeah.
It has effects, and if we want to solve the problem, we first have to know what the problem is. We have to know the extent of the problem. Then we can see the lifestyles we adopt to be able to leave a positive impact.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of tools. I'm sure we'll be talking more about it. We have the Plastic One series.
Okay.
We recently also launched the comic book at the Ghana Ocean Festival. Yeah.
You guys are doing it. I would love to
we are
see.
doing.
Catch them out there.
We are doing. Yeah,
That's good.
So we also have a comic book. I mean,
Yeah.
they are part
Animation.
of our
Animation. Okay.
and we use it to tell the story,
The
storytelling, like you said.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Essentially.
like very behavioral focused.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of our missions to inspire behavioral change.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
to be
mhm.
able to inspire behavioral change, we need to be able to tell a
The
story in a
story.
way that will make the people understand, in a
Yeah.
way that will get them to start thinking about their actions, and they will know that, okay, no, this is something I have to look at it
Amazing.
again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
just to chip in, for us,
Kafui, sorry.
Oh,
Kafui, did you
no,
still
no,
have?
it's fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with
that's
the
good,
flow.
that's good, that's good. For us,
Okay.
you realize that a chunk of the work that we do focuses on the youth
Mhm,
and the rising
mhm.
generation.
Yeah.
You know, there's this, popular opinion that Charlie, the old dudes, the old guys,
The old youth.
their
This is the
past,
first time hearing the old youth.
their past being changed. You cannot.
Yeah.
It's difficult to remove them.
That's true. Yeah.
And so most of the things that we will mention or that we are doing, engagement with schools, eco clubs,
Okay.
trying to raise awareness, going with the stories that we have, trying to connect stories that we receive from different communities, share with them.
Yeah.
And actually, the problem is a general problem, but then there are some distinctions that are peculiar to certain communities. So we try as much as possible to do that. And also, if you are talking about, children and the youth, these are different age groups.
Yeah.
So the storytelling has to go down to their sort of language.
So it's personalized per group.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that you're able to reach out to them. I mean, if you're able to at least create the enabling environment and also psych their mind. This is good psyching. This is not a bad
good
sort
psyching.
of
it's good forcing.
Psych their mind in the positive direction.
Yeah.
Then there is hope. Because it's looking like there's no hope for those who are already
the old youth.
Yes. But still we will still push. Because the moment you quit, then you've given up and we cannot make progress.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. We focus a lot on the youth, try to empower them, build capacity. A lot of them come around for internships. They get to see what is happening, not just when we come there and everything. They also have a feel of what is happening. We invite them to be volunteers as well, to have an experience of whatever story we are telling them.
Yeah.
And as much as possible, we try to work so hard on our visuals. Shout outs to Gabby.
Storytelling. Yeah, shout outs to Gabby. Yeah. You said Gabby, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the comms team.
The comms team. Shout outs to the comms team.
In the comms team,
Compiling story.
Yes.
Oh,
Compelling stories.
Yeah, I like that you dwelt on community. So what are some of the case studies or like your success stories you've had from engaging communities? What has that looked like? Even beyond the school, but then the people in these coastal communities, how has it been? Yeah.
Okay. I'll take an example in the Krowo municipality, for instance.
Oh, that's where
Nungwa. Yeah. So basically one of our models that is assessing waste management practices, and under that we have other sub activities where we do like audits, trying to see the waste management in the community, beach cleanups. So by visiting these communities where we serve, where we work, we are able to the data we gather is able to give us insight on certain loops, or not loops, but certain gaps.
Okay.
Thank you, in the community where you realize that interventions can be done. So in the Kro community, for instance, when we started working, that's in 2019, they realized that after interventions we made, we realized that there are a lot of PET bottles in these communities. So putting them in touch with recyclers, and since then they've not had issues of flooding. So I mean, there's situations like that. So in communities also where we work, looking at these case studies, trying to go into these communities, because like Spencer said, the communities, different communities and different problems.
Yeah.
Even though it's plastics, it affects this community differently and that community differently. So going on the ground and working closely with these communities, the municipalities, the everyday people, the fisher folk, getting how the plastic is affecting them. Working together with them to find targeted solutions is able to make us basically do what will help them.
Like so you're personalizing the support you are giving each community.
Exactly.
And I like the success story, the fact that they haven't experienced flood after.
We try to do our best to help this.
Wow.
To collaborate with this community.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, and now I'm curious to know, Kafui, a storyteller. Elijah, you have a material science background, same as
Spencer.
Yes, forgive me. Yeah. What brought you into environmental sustainability? How did you find yourselves in this space?
Oh, me. Oh, blood. I just stumbled.
Oh, you just stumbled.
I just stumbled on it, but I mean, in school also doing, I because of my background in material science, also doing a project, my final year project, for instance, was on plastics. So even before I came to Plastic Punch, already researching plastic waste in Ghana, I already had an idea.
Yeah.
But like the storytelling also comes in. Having an idea, reading some figures on paper.
It's not all.
Yeah, you may say, oh, okay, maybe Ghana produces 1.7 million tons of plastic waste a year. Okay, hey, that's a lot too. But when you go to the beach and you see that you can't even find a place to step, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
So basically entering this plastic space and going on the grounds and seeing the effects of your decisions on a day-to-day basis
in real life,
you realize that it affects you differently than someone who is looking at it from far away. So that is why, as much as possible, we try to raise awareness. We try to bring people in contact with the problem.
Yeah.
So when you bring people in contact with the problem, more often than not, I don't need to tell you that if you like going to the beach and you go to a certain beach and you want to swim and you are swimming with the plastic.
Yeah.
I will not need to tell you that, when you are going to shop, send a reusable bag.
Or you've seen it.
You can. Exactly. You've seen it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier, and my experience, so that has basically been my experience. I stumbled on it, and frankly, I would say it has made me more conscious of my plastic footprint.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Personally, adding to what he said, in my own case, I'm like one of those people who will go to the beach and then I can't swim in plastics. So that's why
that's why you joined.
Yeah. So because like if we have situations, we're a big family, we like going out, we go out together. So we have situations where we travel and see these other places, like other countries are better. And then it's been like since 2018. That was the last time I actually said, like, we had a vacation, like a family vacation in Ghana, and said, okay, let's go to the resorts because the situation is quite bad. So this year, I think around this year, my sister mentioned like, oh, let's just probably have a family vacation or something like that. I was like, have you seen? Did you know what's going on?
Yeah, because you've been on the grounds.
Yes. Yeah. So initially, I didn't know it was this bad. I actually came to Plastic Punch for national service, and I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. I didn't know it was this bad. I think the first day I joined, when they were talking about, we go to the dirty areas and then we do actual cleanup. We don't just, it's not all to save face. I was like, okay. Then I think I was going on that Labadi road.
Yeah.
And I looked at the other side. I was like, do we actually go to these areas too? Because looking at it, I saw that, okay, this is even worse than I thought. It kind of like channeled I could now see, when I go to the beach, I see the plastics in the water. I come out, I'm like, I can't do this. I'm not going to even try. But now it's like entering the space, it's like it has given me a chance to want to do something. So it's kind of it's like an eye-opening experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can imagine.
So
wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how to swim. So mine is different.
Your mind is different.
Yeah. Mine is different. So I think my situation is similar to Elijah's. Just found myself over there.
Okay.
I still had the option to go into it or not.
Okay. You had a choice.
Yeah. Every step you make.
I hardly hear that. People don't choose.
Every step you make, there is a choice. I mean, at least for me.
Yeah.
So when I say had a choice, I had time to contemplate.
Okay.
Whether I really want to go into this. Is this something that I'm passionate about? I actually had a knack for it, just that I didn't know that I could connect in this way. In the sense that even in school, I referred to school a lot because that was the first time I was exposed to waste management. I took a course on waste management.
Okay.
And I really liked it because it sounded like it would be profitable.
Yeah.
It was an easy course to also take. And I
waste management was an easy course.
It was an easy course to take. But then that particular course was the easiest. But in it, the education came where I understood that there are processes to the things that we call waste management, a waste management system. And I had the passion to explore, to see how it was. So plastic ponds doesn't necessarily take the waste, process it, or the entire value chain, not necessarily. We enable it, however. But although I'm not first-hand doing all the steps that is required, we work with organizations that are into it. So I still get to experience it. I now have a broader view of how things are working and what is impeding our progress when it comes to waste management. You get a bigger picture. Elijah mentioned the 1.1 million tons of plastics that are found in our environment here in Ghana and all that. You get to connect with policymakers. You get to connect with industry players. You get to connect with the community. So you realize that the waste issue in Ghana is not an issue of just behavior. It's also an issue of options. So you realize that even at Plastic Punch, you believe that you cannot just do awareness and do not give them a way out. Or do not give them an option.
That's true.
So we have to talk about alternatives. We have to talk about Sankofa, going back to the things that we were doing that we can go back to. I mean, now we live in an urban environment where people want to do things quick at our own convenience and all that. But now that we are facing these flood issues,
for example,
for us, it is an opportunity for us to amplify. Capitalize on it and amplify, because we've been doing the education, especially to the adults. I mean, the kids, they accept it, but then if they accept it and I go home, I cannot segregate my waste. We don't have sometimes infrastructure. It's also one of the things that you get to understand. You do not have the infrastructure to implement what we've been taught. Then it becomes difficult for us to change our behavior. And so that is why we talk about product design. So we've worked on several projects. The multipler, they use seaweed to make something like similar to the water sachet, but it's made from seaweed. You can put water inside. That was a pilot we did. Yeah.
Oh,
that was a pilot we did.
Is it in the market now?
No. So we did a pilot. We did an assessment. There are things that have to be worked on. So it's still ongoing. We are now working on a project called the No Plastic Caps, which is hopefully doing this study, and at the end of it, we hope to make it economical. Where most of the paper cups that we hear, paper cups are not actually 100% paper cups.
Yeah,
they're 100%. They still have some form of plastic in it. Especially if you put hot beverage inside, then you're leaching the chemicals and all that. So it's an improvement, but then the situation hasn't necessarily been cleared.
Yeah.
So this project actually seeks to use coffee to produce coffee cups. And
like the actual coffee?
Yeah. So coffee waste, any form of coffee waste, to produce the cups, these paper cups that can be biodegradable. Because the paper cups, because of the plastics inside, are not easily biodegradable.
Yeah.
But this will study the biodegradability of the cups that will come, and hopefully once that is done and certified, it comes to the market. We have the sugarcane packaging. I wish we brought one. It's just like the takeaway packs that you have, but it's made out of sugarcane.
Okay.
And this is something that also biodegrades.
Yeah.
So if the issue mostly has to do with the skill.
The skill, exactly.
And the pricing. Similar thing to the multiple projects, the pricing. You realize that if the prices are not as competitive as they should be relative to what is on the market, then it is not a motivation, because money also money is a factor. Money plays a key role.
Yes.
So I mean, for industry to adopt and change and now adapt to the system, you have to see the viability in terms of when it comes to economics of using such products. Because basically what they have to do is, I hear some of them complain about the machinery that they have. Do they have to throw it away and all that? You realize that there are some feedstock that you can just use to replace your plastic, your fossil fuel based feedstock that you're using to produce the product that you want. Once you just need to tweak and change the feedstock. Once you change the feedstock, you can equally make that same product, that same design, but with a different material. Then we can be able to make headway. Because if I mean, you look at in the past, our habits, I don't think we've been clean from the get-go. Just that the products that we were using were not fossil based. They were more, you talk about herbine and all those kind of things. They were not plastic related. Because plastic is a different kind of material, unlike the ones we were using. So once that one came, we were treating it as the old products that we were using. We didn't receive education on what it entails and how we are supposed to manage the plastics. We didn't have the capacity to even manage it before it was brought. It was just coming in slowly. People were hopping on, became cheaper, and then it was everywhere. Boom. So I think there was a transition without preparation. So and also capacity. Now, if we stop using plastics right now, there's so much backlog of plastics that if you are talking about 1.1 million a year, how many years have we been using plastics? And we are talking about just 9.5% being collected.
Imagine.
Not recycled, being just collected. So we do not even have the capacity to recycle what we've already produced, and we are still producing. So how then do we make the progress? So basically what I'm saying is that as much as we are doing the awareness, we're also coming up with trying our possible best to come up with practices as well as alternatives
to be complement each other.
Our more like the flagship project is what we call the Insupa water machine.
Insupa?
Yeah, Insupa.
Oh, okay.
Insupa,
good water.
Insupa.
Okay.
I thought you didn't understand language.
Oh.
The Insupa water machine. Oh, that's cool. We have one currently at Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park.
Oh, okay.
And also one at Alliance Francis, Dakar. Where if you have your reusable bottle at any point now, it's even free.
Okay.
The machine filtrates water from whatever source it's being connected to, and it uses electricity and its filtration system to purify the water, and then dispense either cold or normal water. So all you need is to have a reusable bottle. Once you are close to it, we have attendants who will just help you to be able to get any volume of water that you want to drink, to quench your thirst, and to keep moving. So I mean,
you're really on the ground.
Yes. Especially to address the water sachet and tea bottle, predominance on the
single-use class. Yes.
Predominance on the data that we find we get from the beach. So once you have your reusable bottle, or once you know that this machine is there, you can just carry it along. And we are almost ending the pilot phase. And hopefully, once that is done, we can have more machines on board, so that even in our surveys and other people complain, okay, so I have my reusable bottle. It means that these are the only places I can get it. But it's a pilot. So once it works and the feedback so far are positive, if I can get it nearer, I'll just carry along my reusable bottle and I go with it.
Wow.
Yes. So attitude, we've had a culture for a long time. We will need to transition.
That's true.
The education has to go on. We know very well that we cannot expect things to overturn overnight. That's for us at Plastic Punch, we'll keep on putting the efforts, try as much as possible to be innovative, use storytelling, use visuals, whatever we can, edutainment, Plastic Punch series. It can be satiric, but at the same time, the message is being out there.
It's being accepted.
Their mind, in the back of their minds. And we know that there will be some pushbacks, especially in industry, but we will also fight.
Speaking of pushbacks, what are some of the challenges that you face, just to wrap up the conversation?
Challenges in terms of, I would say so far, nothing really crazy has happened. People have been really cooperative. Luckily, we've been very lucky. We've been working with people who are actually willing to put in effort and put in action.
I see.
So if, let's say, we post on our socials that, this is going to be banned, because we also post like news and stuff. So when we post it, like, we get a lot of feedback. People
engaging.
Are like, this is nice. And then if we have a cleanup coming up, people are enthusiastic about joining. Young people, old people. Young people, when I say young people, I mean
it's not the old youth.
Not the old youth, like you mentioned. Like really young people from different corners of the world. Also really young people from different corners of the world that are willing to work with us. So it's kind of like a very good thing to me. I feel like we've been doing well so far. We're pushing our message across. We're getting to the right people, and everything's just going seamlessly.
Amazing.
Hopefully no loopholes, hopefully no challenges. After some time, but maybe they have something, but I love my own experience.
Okay. To say to that, frankly, this issue is not so easy resolved. If I should say that, there are definitely some hurdles that need to be crossed. Especially, I would say, on the side of government, there is an issue for us, the citizens, but then there's also infrastructure, for instance, that the government can do a bigger role in providing.
So it bridges the gap for you.
Because frankly, you would see, you would say that sometimes Ghanaians swording, or like we don't want to change, or but sometimes you actually realize that. So we have these beans, right? Fish beans. They are beans, but like fishes. And you put it at a place and you say put plastic bottles inside. And you go and come and see that there are plastic bottles inside. So, but if the bin was not there, the plastic bottle, they'll put it somewhere else.
They'll find somewhere too.
Exactly. So frankly, there's people, I believe people are willing to do the right thing. There's definitely some people who are stubborn. But I believe that people are willing to do the right thing. And there's also the issue of infrastructure. So upping our infrastructure right now in Ghana, I would say our infrastructure across collecting, recycling, it's not optimal as it should be, right? So definitely, I'm on the side of Ghanaians that they, if given the chance, they will definitely do better.
Yeah,
for sure. And so that's also what I would like to add to that.
Yeah,
I see.
You want me to say something? Okay.
Oh, no,
So,
I
so yeah, I think the challenge that I can identify is that, as a country, we are unable to go use one approach. We need to use an integrated approach where there are different facets of, the ways of resolving the issue. Okay. So it has to do with policy. It has to do with alternatives. It has to do with behavioral change. It has to do with awareness. And if all these things, because depending on where you find yourself, depending on which sector you find yourself, you have an interest. The interest of various organizations, individuals, and the government itself is what pushes things back or delays things. And that has been the general challenge, how to be able to holistically have things work together, or for us to be able to work
synchronously.
Synchronously.
Okay.
To have things coordinated very well.
Sure.
I feel that once you're able to have that, because today I was hearing we have about 23 plus green policies, and still we are where we are.
Wow.
So the policy is not an issue necessarily, although there are some that are coming that I feel will be effective, like the EPR and all that. But then implementation and the political role. So the government, the last World Environment Day, the president mentioned that he was going to ban styrofoam plastics from the system. And now we have the news. Industry is pushing back.
Of course.
Government wants to do it. Industry is pushing back on the styrofoam ban, which is going to be effective 1st January, and they're pushing back.
Imagine
negotiating,
pushing back to 2030.
But this is just one of the many forms of plastics that you can find. And mind you, this is not recyclable, but that's the issue.
Exactly.
There are plastics that are very useful. You cannot do away with plastic. This microphone has some component of it that's made out of plastic. But then you don't just use it once and throw it away. That's
the recyclable ones.
So I believe the government has taken a good step, but then there's more to be done. So I hope that gradually we are able to phase down the problematic plastics and have alternatives to them, because now people are so reliant on being convenient at all times. So once we support ourselves this way, then we need to find an alternative that will not jeopardize the environment.
Actually, you reminded me of the plastics treaty on the global level. You remember it was pushed back, and eventually, because I delved a little deeper into it, and it was also the pushback from the big players in the UN that enabled that plastic treaty to be cancelled. So I think that's the same thing we are facing on the national level as well. So again, it speaks to the market, where the market is and where the big players.
We need to align our interests. If
we need to align our interests.
There's no way forward.
And
also, so highlighting the ban on styrofoam, I think it's also a very good step. It's a step in the right direction.
It's like phase 1.
This problematic single-use, may I classify single-use plastics as honestly problematic? Because single-use plastics, when you see the concept of single-use plastic, you use something you use for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and it's in environments for more than 500. And even let's say it's so much of a problem, because even if we all miraculously stop using plastics today, from how many years since we were producing plastics?
The ones that already exist.
It's going to be another challenge to even know what to do with the ones we have right now. And then we want to add more, and there's pushback and things like that. So I mean, focusing more on the single-use plastic, which is why I really applaud the EPA, the ban on styrofoam. and also highlighting the voluntary pact. So the voluntary pact is one of the projects we implemented with supermarkets. And the whole idea is trying to put a price on the plastic bags which we buy in the malls. So by putting a price on it, we are trying to discourage people from bringing it, from having to come and we give them the bags.
I
for them.
see.
So you come and bring your reusable bag. So trying to create projects or highlighting on these single-use plastics is a subset of this whole plastic issue, that you realize that if you even see our gutters, all this flooding, look at the waste. You will see the styrofoam, you see the sachet, you see the bottles. The usual suspects, they keep coming. These single-use plastics. So I mean, trying to target these problematic plastics is if we target those ones, I believe that we are going to solve a lot of the plastic issue. Because plastic, definitely it will be in our everyday life for sure.
Definitely.
But I mean, it's not much of an issue if, let's say, you use it and you keep using it continually, because even some of these reusable items are plastic.
Yeah, they are.
But the issue is when you have to use it for a short time and then discard it, and then go for another one and discard it, and go for another one and discard it. So the rates at which
it's not reusable then.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So also highlighting on that, I mean, government definitely has a part to play, and they are doing their best.
Yeah,
definitely.
I agree with that. I've coined the name for you guys, the storytellers, because that's literally what you do. So
definitely. Storytelling.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, our storytellers have really been on the grounds. They have shown us what behavioral change looks like just by being able to put the right images out there. So tell us, where can we find Plastic Punch? Your social media platforms, your office.
Okay. Plastic Punch is at Rosewood Street, Chado.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, even close to the coastal line.
Okay. Yes, that's the whole point. And our socials, they're easy to find.
Okay.
We have Instagram and Facebook, that's Plastic Punch. Plastic Punch.
Punch. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We have our Twitter, which is Plastic Punch GH.
Okay.
Our LinkedIn, Plastic Punch. And our YouTube, also Plastic Punch. Yeah. So Plastic Punch, more punchy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I like it.
Interesting. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on today's session. I'm actually inspired because when we talk about behavioral change when it comes to climate change, it almost looks impossible unless, of course, something happens to you and you're inspired and then you join the climate space. But to know that as storytellers, you have evidence to back that your storytelling is doing something, it's good to know. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us. Find us on YouTube at Road to Green, LinkedIn at Road to Green. Our website is also Road to Green. Just type Road to Green and you'll see us. Thank you, and see you on the next episode.